The crab industry began in San Francisco shortly after the gold rush got going. There were a lot of miners, a lot of new arrivals. They were looking for food source, and there was one right there. And people discovered crab and how good it is, and it didn't take long for it to spread up and down the coast, mostly north. By the late 1800s, people were crabbing and selling crab here in Newport.
By 1909, they came up with a limit where each individual fisher was allowed 50 crabs per person per day. That limit fluctuated until the early 1930s, where it was up to 60 dozen per week. Initially, they were raking crabs out of the intertidal waters with long-tined rakes. They evolved to fishing rings and then eventually pots. And it wasn't until the late 1930s that boats started carrying flooded compartments to keep crabs alive. So prior to that, they had to deliver every day. And so that limited how much they could get done in a given day. They also started moving out into the ocean from the bays. By the middle 1950s, 90% of the crabs being delivered in Oregon were coming from the ocean.
By the 1940s and 50s, Newport established itself as the Dungeness crab capital of the world. We had festivals. Part of our May Day festivals involved crab and giving crab away to the public. We had tremendous crowds coming then. So it was kind of a word of mouth expansion.
In the 1947-48 season, 67 boats fished a total of 8,000 pots. By 1980, there were 500 boats with an estimated 150,000 pots in the ocean. In 1995, limited entry came in, which capped the number of boats allowed into the fishery at 450. In 2006, pot limits came where vessels were allowed either 200, 300, or 500 pots, and that was based on that boat's fishing history. That was in an effort to keep it from being overcapitalized.
The first 20 or 30 years or so long as we could negotiate a price, we begin December 1st. Many of those years, the product wasn't in ideal shape. We were harvesting food before it was perfectly ripe. So in recent years, we test our way into the season.
The state is divided up into zones for testing. Those test sites are split up into different depths, 15 fathoms being the shallow side, 30 fathoms being the middle depth, and 45 fathoms being the outside test site. Most productive crab grounds fall within that zone.
We make sure the fishery is safe to open by testing for domoic acid. So we take a couple of crab from two pots from each of the samples at the different fathoms and the test sites. And those 2 crab, it ends up being 6 crab total from a test site that are tested for domoic acid. And we make sure the fishery is safe in that way for consumption. And we also make sure that the quality of the fishery is there. So what we do is we collect all the legal size males from those pots. And from there, they are cooked and picked out for their meat recovery percentage. So we just make sure that the meat recovery, the amount of meat that is coming out of these crabs, hits that threshold. So when the crabs hit the market, they are of quality and good for consumption.
Because we want high quality crabs so that when the public buys them, they know they got a high quality crab that's free from domoic acid and has good meat fill. I mean, you don't want to ask the public to spend money on a product that's inferior at all.
Dungeness crab is a big deal here in Newport. We're known as the Dungeness crab capital of the world for good reason. Every year we land the most pounds of Dungeness crab along the Oregon coast, and you can tell here on the bayfront when Dungeness crab is ramping up. Everybody has this anticipation. It's usually in December, sometimes early January.
All the excitement about having the first crab of the season able to be served, that makes it excited, and excited because you keep asking when the boat's gonna go out, dropping the pots, when the boat's gonna come in, and do we have the tools to be ready to be used.
In the U.S., we've moved away from hard-to-eat foods or interactive foods like that, but around the world, you'll find whole fish on a lot of menus, bone-in cuts. Here on the coast, Dungeness crab is kind of our interactive meal, and that's really fun. I know my kids, as soon as crab season opens, they're like, when are we gonna have our feast? And it's kind of fun. You get to dig in, you gotta work for it. So they say that hunger is the best sauce, so maybe you're getting a little more anticipation, not able to dig in right away. You gotta do the work first, so that could be part of it. A lot of our menu features crab throughout the year, but the best time to get it is in December, January, February.
Crabs are harvested in the winter months because that's when they are in the best condition with the highest meat percentages and the fullest shells. You don't want somebody to buy a crab and then take it home and crack it open and have it be half full. Those are bug lights, great taste, less filling, you know. We want those people to feel like they got their money's worth.
Unlike some of the other fisheries, the crab fishery is, or they call it an Olympic fishery or a derby. There's no individual quotas. We're all doing the very best we can. It is an extremely competitive scene. We're supportive of one another, but we compete.
I just like crab fishing because it's still a derby fishery. You know, we're able to just go out and try our hardest and do our best. It's a difficult fishery. It's always challenging. Every year it's a challenge. So it's one of those fisheries that's difficult to have completely figured out. It's just constantly changing, and every year seems different.
Effectively, we're all after the same crab. Everyone is working really hard to start the season and as fast as we can. It's the only time of year, the only fishery where on my vessel and many others, we'll go around the clock, because the first days of the crab season are invariably the most productive, valuable days of our year. And it's a lot of fun. Pulling the gear, you're driving up to buoys all day long. It's kind of like a giant slalom that goes and goes. And to me, even after all these seasons, it's like opening presents all day and maybe all night. What's in the next one? And, you know, evaluating that, deciding if you're going to stay where you're fishing or move, but it's fun that way. It's hard, very hard work, but it's also enjoyable.
It's a fairly unpredictable critter, so it's fun in that way. You know, it's a bit of a game of chess, and it's really challenging fishery.
Today's crab boat, they're larger, they're made of steel, many of them. They have very large capacity holds. They have hydraulic crab blocks that can pull pots at the rate of a pot a minute. They have bait freezers. They can fish tough weather. They have lights, which is something that the early crabbers didn't have. They were only daylight operation. Now they fish round the clock until either they run out of bait, the fish hold is full of crabs, or the weather gets too dangerous to continue to participate. So there's been quite an evolution in the vessels themselves and the gear.
The crews on our crab boats are paid on the basis of a percentage of the catch. So this encourages real teamwork. How many jobs does a person show up day one and get a piece of the action? Many lines of work, you can be there 30 years and not sharing any profit, but this is how we do it. It's a traditional way, and I really like it.
It's really important to them how much, how productive we are as well. We're all in it together, wanting to do well. And I think most of those guys, if you asked them to change that, they wouldn't, because they're there for the same reason as we are. Like if you want to work for an hourly wage, there's probably other ways to do that. Like sometimes you go fishing because you want a chance to hit a home run, right?
So we all rise together. We all fall together. We aren't tracking hours. Our effort is high all the time. And we work as a unit. It's a teamwork thing. And the better team we are, the more productive we can be.
So there's two significant safety issues. There's the bar crossing, and then there's the actual gear hauling, right? The bar crossing, oh man, there's so many factors. You can't just pick a wave height. You can't, the direction of the swell, the timing of the swell. It's actually a swell that has a really long wave period is actually really dangerous on the bar, because those long period swells have a tremendous amount of water in them, and as they come into the shallow water and feel the bottom, when they stand up they get a lot taller, and when they break they're incredibly powerful. Like, people don't understand how much power is in water. You just really have to pay attention at the moment and watch how it's reacting. You get a feel over the years of how the bar reacts, and a lot of us, you'll see us up there maybe eating lunch and watching the bar before the season, just see how it is this year. How good of a job did they do dredging it? That's super important to us. Some years the bar's a lot better than others, depending on how well it got dredged is, I think, a huge part of it. How the weather patterns and current patterns and swell direction is affecting it. So it's not something you just learn and now you know, you don't have to learn again. It's a thing that you always have to pay attention to. When it comes right down to it, at that moment of truth, sometimes there's really hard decisions to make about whether to cross the bar or not cross the bar, because there's a lot at stake financially getting out there, but there's a lot at stake if you make a mistake too. Like my guys know, discomfort's not really an issue, but injury is.
My oldest son died crabbing December 11th, 2001. I had two boats, and I was running the larger one, and my son was 21 years old. It was holiday season. He was home from U of O. I remember the night before he said, "Dad, I'd like to go help." I was the president of the organization. We just settled the price dispute, and the fleet went out. The weather wasn't ideal. He said, "I'd really like to go out with you, Dad, but I think they need more help on the Nasika." And so he went on that boat. They were beginning to lay gear right in front of town. I could see the spot that the boat capsized from my house, and all four men were lost. For about a year and a half, I was just going through the motions. Then I kind of let myself enjoy the parts of fishing that I really enjoy again. And but that had a huge impact on our family. And he was a tremendous guy. And these four guys, there's four people. My son and three other men. And two of them had families and children of their own. The other guy was 20. And that story's been repeated a few times. There's a drinking fountain right over there at the head of Dock 5 that I commissioned to be built by Yaquina Boat Equipment. I thought, I want to build something. First of all, we need a drinking fountain because people walk and run here, and there wasn't one. And then I thought, well, I want to build something here to commemorate this loss. Because the bodies weren't recovered. There is no grave. And And I want it to last. I want it to be something that the archaeologists find when all this is gone. And so it's all stainless steel. And look, it faces out this way and it says, "May the life of this fleet be bountiful and safe." And then it lists the 4 guys' names.
Newport has a really effective fleet of crab boats.
Newport is consistently the most productive port in terms of pounds delivered in our state. It's also well known to have outstanding quality of the crabs. There are typically about 325 boats in our state that fish for crab, and we will see 100 or more of those out of Newport. With that many boats, and there's at least 3 or 4 people on each boat, you're talking about 400 families here, depending on this fishery.
We buy fuel from the fuel dock. We buy bait from a person that caught the bait and supplied it to the plant. And then we provide hours of employment through our production to the plant. Their employees get a chance to do the processing part of it. Then it goes to the restaurant where cooks and waitresses provide it to the people, or it goes to a grocery store, and there's quite a ripple effect around the crab fishery, and a lot of people do very well.
It is our biggest commercial driver fishery here on the Oregon coast. It brings in the most dollars. Just having that infusion of economic value in the wintertime is a big deal. A lot of the fisheries are summer-based. A lot of our ground fish, pink shrimp is spring and summer. So having something in the off-season from all those other fisheries is a big deal. They can change the equipment on their boats and keep their livelihood going through the winter time.
When the crab fishing is really good, you see quite a few new trucks on the waterfront. So you know that all the way up to the car lots and the real estate people selling houses, everybody in the community benefits greatly when the fishing is good.
It seems to be a pretty sought after commodity.
All of us, not just the fishermen, but all citizens could celebrate, because for so long in our history, people thought that the resources were inexhaustible or didn't think about it at all. And now we're managing sustainably. It's a terrific accomplishment that we could be proud of.
Yeah, it seems to be a real sustainable practice that we have going on.
As much as I enjoy being a crabber, it's pretty important to relate that it is extremely hard physical work, wet, often cold, long hours. It's not for everyone, not even close, and it's dangerous. Lives have been and are lost in this fishery. There's a real cost that occurs sometimes. Even though we've made huge advancements in safety. The boats are safer, we have a lot of equipment, but it's a winter fishery, and we're exposed to some of the worst conditions that you can imagine sometimes. So it's not crab you're buying, it's men's lives.